Good afternoon, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to today's session. We are honored to have with us a distinguished guest speaker whose extensive experience and expertise have made a significant impact in the fields of digital technology, marketing and innovation, integration and market development with prestigious organizations. We are privileged to have Mr. Indika De Zoysa, Strategic Advisor and Vice President at Huawei Technologies Lanka Private Limited. With over 30 years of experience in digital and ICT solutions, Mr. Indica's insights will surely offer valuable knowledge to us all. Please join me in warmly welcoming Mr. Indika De Zoysa.
Okay, thank you for that introduction. Let me share the screen. Okay, hope is screen is visible and audible.
Yes, Indika, we can hear you and we can.
Okay, yeah. So if there are any questions or anything, please let me know in between. I'll happy to answer. I think we lost a bit of time, so let's me see how we can catch up on the time as well. So I will talk about about future spoofing, which is since we are moving into a very much digital or a tech-driven world right now. So with the previous speeches we heard from the keynotes, etc., about the work-life balance, how the technology is doing certain changes for the way we work, we do things, how AI, virtual reality, augmented reality, how all these things are coming in and changing the things what we do. So I will relate to some of the examples. I believe there are some overseas listeners also or like in the audience. But some examples I have taken specific to Sri Lanka as well. So I'll try to explain on them as well. Uh, so if I move first, making a very strong statement. So this is a statement which is spoken about the countries and its people. So which is inevitable that whatever the way we do things, digital adoption has become very critical. And unless it's as an individual or as an organization or as a country, if it doesn't really get this transformation done, obviously it'll be like end of life, or we'll become obsolete or we can call it failed. So this is a fact. I think this is no rocket science. I think today everybody is aware about it and how the organizations are evolving, changing, and we work across. So I will take a little bit of get a more of icebreaker. If you think back, when the 3G was initially introduced, everybody thought that when the 3G is coming in, video call is going to be the key thing, and how technology will transform using video calls and how the way we communicate will get changed. But in reality, what happened? With the 3G coming in, where the iPhone is introduced, it's not the video call anymore. Obviously, video call is part of that, but iPhone is introduced with all the tools which is Apple has to offer. So this is the basic call, the biggest transformation happened with the introduction of 3G. Then, when you're looking at the 4G coming in, we were thinking about what exactly been happening, and now people are talking about mobile live videos will be the key, which is coming with the 4G. But really, what happened was all the social media tools were coming into the market, TikTok to YouTube to Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. Right. So this is what 4G actually bought in. Now we are talking about 5G. We are, as a country, we are about to launch the 5G in Sri Lanka as well. We are talking about AR, VR, and so many other things. Is it the autonomous car sector? Is it what's going to happen right now? So this is a big question mark. Still, we don't know exactly what's the business model or what are the solutions. What exactly, even in Sri Lanka, our case, we don't have what you call uh, the real case studies or real use model of 5G, etc. So only time will tell us, at the previous occasions, like the 3G and 4G came in, what the expectation was something else, but end of the day, what came into the action was something else. So only time will tell what 5G will evolve up to. Now, this is a classic example, right? Like, so all of you know these brands Uber. When you take as the biggest taxi company in the world, they don't have a single taxi. Or Amazon as the biggest bookstore in the world, they don't have a single bookstore. Or Airbnb, we can call it as the biggest hotel chain in the world, they don't have a single room, which is the core component of their key business doesn't exist, but they are the biggest in the world. Now, which is we have moved into this era of gig economy, how everything is in our smartphone and things are really evolving differently. So this is the way the organizations get changed. Certain jobs get created. Meantime, certain jobs get doesn't exist anymore. I will take few examples within next couple of slides what I have on the exact thing. So this is what we have gone through in the past couple of years. It's a fact that after the COVID, in last 7 years, or actually after the COVID, what was the study shows that the digital adoption got preponed about 7 years. So it's in Asia, across the world, in all the regions. So what this transformed was what you call as something called the digital economy. So that digital economy, we actually measure in a way what is the digital economic contribution goes to the national economy. That has become one of the key parameters today. So when you're looking at world average of digital economy is about 40%, high income countries are about close to 50%, even low income countries are about 17%. So when you're looking at mature market is growing well, the contribution from digital economy to the national economy has become a key factor to the growth of the national economy in most these nations. So this is a very key factor. When you're looking at the number point of view, Sri Lanka is far below in this equation. I will talk about later on the plan what we have for as a country, but we are at about 5% right now from a digital economic contribution to the national economy point of view. Another key factor is what you call the ESG, that is the renewable energy coming into the equation and how the carbon footprint is getting lower and the renewable energy becoming a key factor. Now, this is how the entire equation will come into the play. So all of us knows about the first industrial revolution, then we're talking about the second, then we're talking about the third, and we are right now living through the fourth industrial revolution. So what is this fourth industrial revolution means is technically we call it as a digital economy. And the other challenge is like when we were from first to second is two couple of 100 years, but between second to third is similar. But now we are living through the fourth industrial revolution, or what you call the digital economy. We are looking at the fifth industrial revolution as well, which is fifth industrial revolution we are calling as the intelligent world. So now, which is within a short period of time, which is we'll move to the fifth while we are living through the fourth. Now, key two parameters, one is the digital transformation which is happening, and the second one is the renewable energy, solar, etc. getting in. So, which is this smarter or the intelligent world will get merged these, so getting closer to these two and moving on it. Now, what we need to think through from a digital economic point of view or the things what we do, how do we practice or how do we work or how our organizations will cater to the solutions or the requirements in the intelligent world. So this is what we need to think through. And this has become a very critical point. Unless we are really capable as individual, as organization, as a nation, we are how we transformed into the intelligent world and what we had to do to that transformation. So this is what we need to really, really think through. So what primarily will happen is intelligent world. So all things will start sensing and all things will be connected and all things will be intelligent. So I'll let me talk about this a bit. Then bottom you have the regular solutions like the broadband, data centers, cloud computing, big data, IoT, all these things will be there. Now, what do you mean by everything is sensing? So I'll take an example of autonomous car. So that means if you give the direction, you program it, it will sense the road, where the barriers, where the turns has to be done, where the junctions, all that. It will sense it, and it is connected. It is connected through different mode of connectivity, can be 3G, 4G, whatever 5G mode, and it will go to the cloud environment, artificial intelligence will have identified, and it will be in return, it will give the command to the, we say, autonomous car in this case, like, you need to turn left, you need to turn right, or you need to speed it, you need to reduce the speed, there's a traffic in front, whatever they be. So that intelligence will actually direct the autonomous car to take it to the destination what need to be taken it. So this is a very simple way of a example which is I took, but there are obviously you guys also in the, some who are in the tech world, which is will have more of such information which is available. Now this is like a more of a fundamental layer how this intelligent world will work and what will happen to the organizations. So now here I have taken the industries. Some of the industries has already moved in on the leadership role, which is OTT, which is primarily we call it digital e-commerce or digital services, etc. Which is that is a industry which is digitally born. Obviously, it will take the lead. So you have other industries like telecom, government, finance, in our case, in Sri Lankan case, government, of course, not in this space, but they are far below. But when you take as a finance, telecom, these two industries have grown into the exclusive growth stage, which is like, in hardly today's context, actually, we go into a bank because we do everything on our phone or on a digital mode. So then also rest of the industries follows, like, it will go up the ladder. So this when this transformation happens, unless the industry which is you are in doesn't move this ladder, you will obviously get like obsolete. That's what the first statement what I has made before the start of the presentation, how this transformation will take into action. Now, I will take one example. Now, all of us knows Domino's Pizza. So they are one of the biggest pizza companies in the world. The key factor here is that 50% of the HQ staff is on software and analytics. So what is these IT people doing in a pizza company HQ? 50% of their staff. So you may have the best pizza in the world or whatever the food item you may produce or the solution you make, but unless you have this analytics or unless you have information about your customers and data-driven decision making is not being used, you may not be able to survive. So this is a critical factor. That's what Domino's has actually identified. That's why they have 50% of their HQ staff is working on software and analytics because they know even if they even make the best of the pizzas in the world, unless they have this data, they will be not able to survive in the market because today customers are looking at like you need to identify the customer's palate. They want spicy, thin crust, thick crust, whatever the way they want, extra sauce, extra layers, extra cheese. You need to have that knowledge with you. Then only you'll be able to do a better service to your customer, identifying what customer needs all about. So it's getting into more of personalized selling. We need to have identified your customer's requirement, and that's exactly the reason that these organizations have invested on technology, people, etc., to make sure they have a better customer service. They have their products is being taken to the customers as well. Now, these are companies, these brands, when you're looking at the logos, etc., you very well remember, like Kodak, Nokia, Walkman, Commodore, or BlackBerry, Yahoo, etc. And most of these brands we have used in our life, right, at any given time. Now, I have put this symmetry on top of a PC on top of symmetry. So this is like simply rest in peace, right? So these brands were the biggest in the world maybe 10 to 15 years ago. Now all these brands have disappeared. There's one common factor. They really didn't embrace the digital transformation. What happened? Kodak never saw the digital camera coming in, and how they lost their entire value proposition. Or Nokia didn't see that the smartphone is coming in. It's like that, all these brands really went out of the market no time. So in our time when we looking at doing when I was doing our MBAs, these are the brands we took as like the how like best case studies, how strong these brands are, like their brand values, etc. But when you're talking 15 years later, these brands will disappear. And these brands were bigger than our country's GDP. These brands were like more than $100 billion in market cap. But Since they never embraced the change, they were forced to go out of the market, and these brands doesn't exist anymore. So this is the statement I made in the first slide itself. Unless you embrace change, unless you do the transformation, now you will become end of life. The key point is that industrial revolution transformation. Now we are going through the fourth, we are moving into the fifth. Within that change, if it doesn't identify what are the requirements of intelligent world and how that intelligent world will behave, the for us or as individual, as organization or as a nation, we have a challenge that we will go out of the market. This is a fact which is that's the reason I took this sequence of trying to explain that thing. So let me take few case studies, which is the Kodak case study in this case, right? Kodak invented their first digital camera in 1975, but they never took it to the market. They were worried that the product will get cannibalized because they were selling cameras, they were selling film rolls, the printing paper, chemicals, those big machines where the photos will get printed. So they thought after the digital camera was invented or digital camera will take into the market, they will cannibalize all those pieces. But they never took this to the market. What happened, since they never saw this change is coming so fast, and they went out of the market of business. So it's very important that timely decision has to be made and the product transformation or the solution transformation has to be done timely manner. If you wait until things settle, you might go out of the market. So this is one example of Kodak. In other case, Nokia. And here the CEO talking about the day with Microsoft bought over them. We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost it. So this is such a great company. Everybody thought Nokia phone with the Symbian operating system like that is the best we can have, but they lost it. They digital transformation took over their entire market segment and they went out of the market being such a big player for such a long time. So this is how the transformation happens. How such big companies actually went out of the market. And I'll take two more things, which is for the community in Sri Lanka, or Sri Lankans will very much remember this. The national fuel pass, all of us were in during the crisis time, maybe 2.5 years back, we were in big queues to get petrol. So I spoke about the the fuel pass, and I will get into another example, which is this everybody knows is Yohani's song. So she actually went up to about 300 million. Uh, so if we ask the question, is
Sorry for interruption. Indika, we can't see your presentation slide.
Ali,
We
okay.
can see your Teams.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can see.
Okay. I can hear my voice again to me.
No, you're audible, Indika. We can hear you.
Okay. So what I was talking about this song, is she the best artist we had? Uh, I'm not sure, but definitely she's the one who reached the highest number on terms of reach, which is she's reached about 300 million people. Now, it's about her, the tool she what to use, right? She used went into YouTube and she became globally popular. So it was a time I'll move a little faster. Now, if Sri Lanka Rupani Corporation use AI for news reading, so this Rosman Senaratne was somebody who's read news 30 years ago, but AI was used and he was recreated and he was reading news. So now challenge we need to think through how the AI is taking over, and also how the news readers or news anchors are getting changed. So we were talking about jobs getting disappeared, new jobs are getting created. So this is an example how the job of news anchor is getting replaced with AI. So what these news anchors will do differently. So these are the things which is getting keep changing, and digital world obviously change the entire environment. So I will touch upon this digital economy on a very high level, and I'll talk about a little bit about the Sri Lankan context as well. So we know, I spoke about the digital economic impact percentages, what the countries are taking in, what is the mature markets all about, and what is the impact of the low income country. And as a country, Sri Lanka, we are very low. Now, digital economic strategies has been built by many countries of the world. Sri Lanka also build a digital economy strategy for 2030. As you have all the mature markets like UK, Germany, France, Russia, China, etc., and also developing markets like uh, uh, us also being very much part of the equation. So unless we have the digital economy strategy on the equation, that we be not able to survive as well. So as a country, we have identified that, and finally we have come up with a game plan for that. On a very high level, I will talk about that digital economy plan. So this is the very high level framework what Sri Lanka has developed. This is done with the help of the World Bank, government, industry together. So there are six strategic areas we are talking about. So infrastructure and connectivity as one, skills literacy as one, connected digital government as a third one, cybersecurity and safety, digital financial search services, digitalization across the sectors and SMEs. So these are the six thematic areas we are talking about. So this digital economy strategy is available in the online. I strongly recommend for you all to download this and read the entire document. And this is the framework for next 7 years until 2030. Digital economy is getting built up in Sri Lanka as well. So there are very short-term goals which is set for 2025 as well. So as one thing is infrastructure, connectivity, and access. Here we are talking about how the broadband is taken to the rural areas, how the 5G will come to the equation, etc. Then the skills literacy and jobs. Here we are talking about the digital increase of digital literacy, how the transformation of the ICT workforce will happen, and also how the digital education will take into the equation, etc. The third one is a connected government. So the short term, they are looking at how the citizen service is coming from a government point of view and how the transformation in the government using digitization will happen. So I'll not go into details with the interest of the time. The cybersecurity, talking about the security space and the cyber area. Digital financials is about banking, how the e-commerce, the digital wallets coming into the equation, etc., and the policies change in each country. Then the last one is the digitalization across the SMEs. So yeah, they're talking about 100,000 SMEs to getting digitized because this is one of the critical factors. Because 52% of our economy actually been contributed from SMEs. We're looking at a digital economy point of view, contribution to be increased. SMEs become a critical factor, and also large corporates as well. So these are the few things which is on the plate for us as a nation next couple of years, and really looking forward to get this transformation done. So with that, actually, I will conclude. Uh, so with this quote from one of the Intel founders, which is talking about don't be encumbered by the history, just go and do something wonderful. So I mean, there have been a fairly whatever the technical glitches in between as well during the presentation. Hope you managed to grab something. And next 5 to 10 minutes or so, if the time permits, I'm happy to take some questions. Can put it in the chat. Am I audible?
Yes, Indika, we can hear you.
Yeah. So Dinusha looks like no questions.
So, as we come to the end of our Hearts Academy Day, so I want to extend my sincere gratitude to our speaker. Your expertise and the insights were invaluable to our audience, and thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and experience with us. I also thank to our amazing team and everyone who helped to organize and make this event a success. Your hard work and dedication are truly appreciated. And finally, thank you to all of you us taking the time to join us today and learn something new. Your participation is what makes event like this possible. Before I sign off, I have a quick announcement. We have sent a feedback form linked to both your emails and this meeting chat as well. I kindly request you all to take a 5 minutes to fill it out and let us know how we did today. Once this meeting ends, you will no longer access to the chat to retrieve the link. So please be sure to check your emails and access the form. Your feedback essential us help improve our future events, and we hope to conduct more events like this in the future. Until then, Arts Academy 2024 sign off. Thank you and cheers.